Hi everyone, I thought I'd make a quick guide to Git and how to get started if you're a complete newbie. I'll show you how to create a repo today and how to clone a repo, and also show you a cool game that I've found which will help you learn a bit more about Git branching and learn it in an interactive way. So to get started, I'm going to show you how to clone an existing repo. So to do that, I'm just going to first create a repo. So you give it a name and you'll have the owner set to you or an organization. You can give it a description if you want, set its accessibility to public or private, and you can choose to add a README and a license. The license is quite good if you want to make it public, because if you want people to be able to use your code, you'll want to provide a license. A good one to use would be the Apache or MIT license. And you can also choose to add a Git Ignore here. So if you add a Git Ignore here, you can select technology that you're using and it will give you a relevant Git Ignore. But one thing to note is, see, I've selected Java, but if I select something else like Android, it will not keep Java, so it will only allow you to select one technology. So if you've got multiple technologies, there's a tool that I'm going to show you that will help you create a Git Ignore for multiple technologies. So if I untick that, I'll just create my repo. The default branch is main. That's the new convention over master. So if I copy this HTTPS and go to my terminal, the command I'm going to want to use is Git Clone. So that will bring my code off GitHub and onto my local computer, and I can change into that directory. You can see that I've got the files, the README and the license that I've set up when I set up my repo. So now that I've got my repo open in Visual Studio, I am going to add a README file. So I'm just going to add a new file. I'm going to add a Git Ignore file. And I'll type .gitignore. That's just a standard convention in Git that you'll name your Git Ignore file like that. And here I'm going to generate what content I want in my Git Ignore by using this website here to generate a Git Ignore for different technologies that I'm using. You can select as many as you want and it'll just add them into your Git Ignore. Cool, so then I can copy and paste that into my Git Ignore. I'm going to link this website in the description below if you think you're going to find it useful. So if I type git status, I can see that I've added a file that's untracked, so I can do git add dot to add all files. So if I go git status again, I can see it's been added. So now if I do a git commit -m and give it a message for my commit, so I'm just going to say adding Git Ignore. Then I'll add a commit, and if I push, then it will update my repo with my Git Ignore. So you can see I'm on the main branch here. And you can check what branch you're on by going git branch. So now I'm going to create a new Git repo from scratch. So I'm just making a directory and then I'll change into that directory. So I type git status and it's not a Git repo. So I type git init to create it as a Git repo. I can type git status and it'll tell me what branch I'm on and that there's no commits yet. So typing git checkout -b main will create a new main branch and check it out. So you can see now that I'm on branch main instead of master. So now I'm going to go and create that repo on GitHub. It's quite a good repo host to use, so I do recommend it. It's really good for open source code in particular, and it's the biggest host for Git repos. So I'm going to want to add some files and a commit, and then I'm going to want to add a remote origin and push my code to that remote origin. So here I am adding my new file. It's just going to be a README file. And I'm just going to say hello world. So you can see that I've got that file, and I can add that specific file by typing its name. Git status just showing you that it's been added. And if I go git commit -m, once again, I can add a commit with a message. So now I'm going to want to add the remote. So I'll just copy that link that's recommended to me by GitHub. And then I'll git push -u, which sets upstream origin main. So that basically means that the local main branch will track the origin, so the remote main branch. So you can see here I've got my code, hello world readme, and if I go and make a change, just to show you how you can pull changes and commit that change. So my change is in my remote branch. And if I open Visual Studio, you can see I don't have it locally. If I do a git pull, then you'll see it will update my local with that change. So this is the Git game that I was talking about. So it's quite a cool game, and it teaches you all sorts of things about branching. Basically, it's a really good guide to learning Git without having to create your own repos. So here it is, I'm creating Git commits here. It'll teach you quite a variety of commands and give you some challenges and give you some really good guidance on how to complete each challenge. So this one here is going to tell you a bit about the best practices for branches in Git, and then it's going to show you how to do that, and it will give you the challenge and a goal state that you'll need to meet. And once you've met that goal state, then it'll tell you that the challenge is met. It'll also give you an interactive demo where you just push on the command and it will perform the action on screen. So that's what's happening there. So basically the goal here is to create a new branch and check it out. So you can achieve that two ways, but the shortcut for that is git checkout -b to create the new branch, and we're going to call that bug fix. So there we go, it's created the new branch and checked it out, and we've solved the problem. I'm going to link this game in the description below so that you can have a play with it at your leisure and learn a bit more about Git in an interactive way. So this one's getting a bit more complicated. You're going to want to create a new branch and commit to that branch and the main branch, and then merge your bug fix branch back into main. So first I'll create my bug fix branch, and here I am checking out my branch. Then I'm going to want to add a commit to it. Then I'm going to check out my main branch, add a commit to that. Then I'm going to merge my bug fix branch into my main branch. They also tell you whether you had the optimal solution, so the minimum number of commands that you could use to achieve the solution. So that's where git checkout -b would be handy. You can create the branch and check it out in one command, so it's quite helpful. So here we're going to do a rebase, which is very similar to a merge, except it changes the branch history and basically moves the commit to the front of whatever branch you're rebasing onto. So here we're going to create a new branch, bug fix and check it out. Then we're going to add a commit on that branch. And then we're going to check out the main branch and add another commit there. So once that's done, we're going to want to rebase bug fix onto main. So you can see now that we've got that solved, and there's many more challenges that you can do, and you'll learn lots of different things about Git and lots of different commands. So I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please like or subscribe for more content.